Welcome back to the Magnolia Shine podcast. I'm your host, Trellis Williams, alongside the one and only Blake Levine. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right here to the Magnolia Shine podcast. Also, hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our episodes. Also, like and share it with anyone who may be interested. Blake, listen, we had another great week of football. And this is where we kind of separated some of the good teams from the great here, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we have a lot of great teams. I think we got a lot of teams jam packed, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
I would say almost every classification has multiple teams that I think can win it, and that's how it should be, right? Like there's no just clear cut favorite outside of maybe 5A and 2A. I think every other class, it's going to be a battle, and even in 2A, there's some schools that are undefeated that feel like, yeah, we could take out Heidelberg.
Yeah, so look, let's just go ahead and get it started by talking about D'Iberville and West Harrison. So that game, listen, D'Iberville 6-0 now after beating West Harrison on the road 25-7. So they were able to dominate them defensively there, and both teams were undefeated going into the ball game. And D'Iberville getting the win. They are now 6-0, 1-0 in region play. What'd you think of this one? Listen, we both picked West Harrison to win this game. D'Iberville comes away with the victory.
Yeah, and before I even go into this, is our next game that we're talking about Gulfport and Ocean Springs?
Yeah, we can. That's one of
Yeah.
our
Well,
games.
here's where things get really interesting, right? Is
Yeah,
D'Iberville now plays Ocean Springs, and Ocean Springs needs a win after losing, their first region game
yeah.
after 25 straight. D'Iberville has a chance now, and it was really important for these teams, for D'Iberville to get this win, because if they can get into that three spot, they could possibly play a lesser team from the other region. And, in the two spot now, they're probably going to, well, I guess if they beat Gulfport, they could be hosting a playoff game. And D'Iberville has really set themselves up with this win to now, if they can beat one of Ocean Springs or Gulfport, they should have a home playoff game. And for D'Iberville, they have to be just ecstatic that they have this now all in front of them. For West Harrison, I still think they're legit. I love their running back. I just think that, they ran into a team that was a buzzsaw defensively.
Yeah, so D'Iberville starting off with a 1-0 region record. Let's just go ahead and go into Gulfport and Ocean Springs. Also in the same region, these are four teams that I think we'd expect to come out of that region here. These four teams, and they start off with those two matchups right here at the beginning. You see Gulfport and Ocean Springs undefeated going into this game. According to most, probably top three in the state going into the ball game. Hosting Gulfport, overwhelming favorites. We both picked Ocean Springs to win this football game. And Gulfport takes it to them and beats them 41-28 on the road. Gulfport now 3-2 on the season, but more importantly, 1-0 in region play.
So I said before the season, I thought Gulfport was a really sneaky team. Now, I didn't expect
Yeah,
them to win this game. However, Cooper Crosby, their running back, scores 5 touchdowns. He was phenomenal, just an absolute bulldog, kind of a Cam Scattaboo of high school football. And then they have a really good quarterback that was obviously showcasing at Mississippi Showcases and showed off what he had in Parker. And, it's just
yeah.
really fascinating to see how their offense evolve through the season. And we talked about some of the close games and battles of good teams that they were playing earlier, where they were in these games, but then then they lose it late. Well, here's the reverse of that, where it was, okay, this time in the fourth quarter, we're taking it. We're taking it this time. We're not losing another close game to a good team. And now all of a sudden, Gulfport is a major player.
So moving on now to a little 4A action, Poplarville and Macomb. And I must issue an apology to Macomb. Man, I was not familiar with your game. Macomb getting the win, 35-34 against Poplarville. And listen, we talked about this last week, Blake. You picked Macomb to win this game, so credit to you for that. But I'll tell you this, I didn't just think that Poplarville was going to win, and it was a very close game. But I thought Poplarville was going to blow them out, so I was very wrong. Even though it was a one-point game, and I barely missed the pick, I was very wrong on this. Macomb is legit after beating Poplarville.
Macomb has everything that you need to have a really good team. Their quarterback, their young quarterback, is just absolutely phenomenal. And Poplarville, yeah, like they put up the points. We knew that Poplarville could score. The problem was
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if Poplarville could stop Macomb. And the reality was is neither team really stopped each other for the most part. I know, from time to time they were getting some stops and all that. But for the reality is this is a mid-30s game, and Macomb, I harped on them in previous seasons for not playing anybody legit. Well, they got put in an area where they're kind of forced to play some legit teams now. And I think their schedule's been way better this year. You talk about the Brookhaven, the Poplarville, and all of a sudden, this undefeated season feels like a real undefeated season. Now, however, they do go and play Columbia next week, and then we'll really know. Like if Macomb beats Columbia, Poplarville back to back, whoa, okay, it's like, and I think they have a shot. I mean, I'll end up taking Columbia when we do the picks,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and I'm going to end up taking Columbia as well, and we'll talk about that on Thursday, of course. So you have to tune into our Thursday show where we give our picks and previews of the games. And so I'm going to pick Columbia again, this upcoming week. But the thing is, though, now I feel a lot better about Macomb, though, generally speaking. Because, listen, Columbia is like probably my championship pick at this point in time. So, that's a different story. But beating Brookhaven and Poplarville back-to-back weeks, listen, you can't say anything but like you're very impressed with this football team. 6-0 on the season.
Well, here's the thing, Trellis. Here's the thing. When they beat Brookhaven, in my mind, I said two things. Great win for Macomb. Was Brookhaven asleep the week after,
That's what I
beating
thought.
Madison? Right, right. I mean, there was that cross, like, okay, maybe Brookhaven read too much into themselves. Well, now that they beat Poplarville, all of a sudden that Brookhaven win becomes even more impressive because you're like, oh
It
no, they
does.
just won that game. They just flat out won.
They did. They did. So now we're going to go to Oxford and Madison Central. Well, this was a very interesting game. Oxford pulls out the win over Madison Central. This was when you picked Madison Central, I picked Oxford, and this is the lone game of the week that I bested you, Blake, and we'll talk about that a little later. But Oxford taking the win 16-14. It was 14-13 at halftime. Madison Central was in the lead, finished out with an Oxford victory. Now, this is interesting. First region game here, and I would say that the focus at this point, Oxford gets the win. Madison Central showed pretty well, but the focus for both these teams, especially Madison Central now that they lost the game, is just try to make the playoffs. Just try to squeeze into the playoffs. Obviously, if you squeeze into the playoffs, you're going to find yourself playing Tupelo first game. You want to at least be top three. But if you get top three, I think Madison Central can compete with basically anybody in 7A on a game-to-game basis. They've come out on the short end of the stick multiple times now. I mean, they're 3-3. But they can play, I think, with anybody. But Oxford takes the win.
Right. Kudos to Oxford. Their defense played phenomenal, first off. When it comes to Madison being 3-3, they were up at halftime against Brandon. They lost in overtime to Brookhaven, and they lost on a 58-yard field goal attempt to Oxford. I mean, Madison is sitting here going, man, we're 3-3, but we're right there. I mean, this is kind of where
They
we were
are.
talking about Gulfport kind of just being right there, but like the tide finally turned. If Madison could figure out some way to beat a Starkville and maybe get into that 2 seed, and they could. I feel like they could beat anybody, but then they could also lose to Germantown or Clayton, right? Like it feels like
Yeah.
there's a lot going on there. But yeah, for them, they got to get that 3 or higher because you just don't want to go on the road at Tupelo first round. You got to do everything to avoid that. When it comes to Oxford's defense week in and week out is becoming a serious thing. Like where you start looking and
Yeah.
go, is this one of the three to four best defenses in the state? Because they held Tupelo down. Now they've held Madison down. They winning a bunch of games. They only have one loss, and that was to Tupelo, right? So you're like, wow, okay, Oxford, this team, like this,
Grenada.
right.
They
They
handled
held
Grenada
Grenada.
pretty well.
Right. And now you're starting, well, this might be one of the best defenses in the state. So for Oxford, this is serious for them.
Definitely. So Oxford's definitely a legitimate contender as we've seen in recent weeks. So now let's get into a little Brandon and Northwest rankings. Speaking of defense, okay, Brandon wins this football game 3-0. It was tied at 0 at halftime. and it finishes out with a 3-0 win for Brandon. Now, this was at Northwest Rankin. They were playing without Slade and Shaq. Brandon was. So they were without a quarterback, and they had no passing yards in the entire football game for Brandon. And but
They had what? Repeat that. Repeat that.
They had no passing yards in the entire football game. And this is Brandon that we're talking about here.
It's I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off completely. Like,
You're
I'm
off
just
the
off.
brand. You're off the Brandon ship. Here's the thing, though, man.
I love their players. I love their players.
Yeah.
Like, I love everything. Like, I love all their athletes on their team. They have a great athletic team. There's something's happening. Maybe it's just because they haven't had a full team since week 1.
That's what
You know, and they're either without Tyson Robinson, they're either without their quarterback. Right? Like, it feels like they 3-0. Like that's like if you have Tyson Robinson as your running back, and you have another probably backup quarterback that's going to be good at some point in his career, you know, it's just ridiculous to see that score. I mean, it was the second ugliest football game of the week in Mississippi.
Oh my goodness! You want to talk about the ugliest football game in
Yeah,
Mississippi?
yeah. Let's pause because I'm going way too deep into Brandon right now. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the ugliest football game of the week. Go ahead.
So Moss Point in Forest County agriculture. Hey, listen, 0-0 at the end of regulation, and then finally in the 5th overtime, Forest County scores a touchdown and wins the ball game. 6-0 in 5 overtimes. That's crazy.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. I don't want to call out any coaches or kids' names, but that was an ugly football game. And I saw some people, you know, say, well, maybe the defense was good. I don't think so. I don't, you know, because Moss Point hadn't scored in like 2 of their first 5 games either. So now they've been shut out in 3 of their 6. So Moss Point obviously is struggling to score at times this year, right? And you know, we're talking, and Forest County AHS at least is 4-2. Now they were missing their quarterback, at least one of their best players, if not their best player. So, you know, for Forest County AHS, you know, they had that thing to say. But there were, I think, 12 turnovers, 12-13. The guy that I was talking to lost count, so we just went with a roundabout dozen. Moss Point took like 12-13 sacks. There were 2 blocked kicks in overtime. Forest County AHS had 2 kicks blocked. My favorite one is they finally get to the 4th overtime and both teams throw interceptions. And then finally, you know, on a 4th down, I mean, it was a down away from going to a 6th overtime with no score. And I heard stuff about Forest County AHS had 4 trips to the red zone in the first half with 0 points. I mean, it was tough. It was tough. And you know what? Forest County gets to walk away, and you know what they get to say, Trellis? AHS, you know what they get to say?
We won the football game.
We won the football game. And you know what? Coach can at least sleep at night. Coach can sleep at night going, okay, that's never going to happen again. You know, there's just no way. And we're 4-2, and we won the football game. Okay, I can go to sleep. I was missing my...
Yeah.
For Moss Point, like, what's going on? And by the way,
Yeah.
it's not like Moss Point has had some years where they were the cream of the crop of Mississippi high school football. So, you know, tough.
Yeah. Yeah, when I think of Moss Point, I think of Devin Booker. But anyway,
Yeah.
So next game on my list here is West Jones and Petal. And we talked about this when we both picked Petal, and sure enough, Petal did them in. 45-6 over West Jones. Now, here's the thing. So, Petal's 7A, West Jones is 6A. We've talked about this recently with having their coach come back this year, that they were going to build as the season went along. We expected this. I know that you expected this.
Came last year. Last year, and then I think this the second year.
Oh, my bad. But we did, but as you've said, Blake,
right.
we expected them to build over the course of the year, and I think that they're catching their stride pretty nicely. So that's on Petal's side. On West Point's on the other side of this. West Jones, you know, that's not a good look. 45-6, not a good look. And now you head into region play. You know, your region is not just insanely crazy. Like, you should definitely be able to make the playoffs. You definitely should be able to make the playoffs if you're West Jones. But then you got Hattiesburg and Terry are your two biggest obstacles to being at the top of your region here. What is the outlook here for West Jones after a tough loss like that? If you would have played close with Petal and lost, you'd feel pretty good about yourselves. But you got wiped off the field.
They're struggling. They're struggling to move the ball at times, and obviously the defense gave up 40+ points. And I said to you, I said, Petal's going to be very good by the end, and now Petal's going to take on Oak Grove this week, and that's going to be a fantastic game. And I'm very in on Petal. I liked him before the season. I like him even more now. West Jones, it's just tough. They're a little banged up, and they're limited in some aspects at the moment. I It's tough, right? Because, like you said, their region, it's tough, but it's not unbearable, and they should make the playoffs. Again, it's about finding a way to be that second seed for them because they just don't want to have to play a Picayune. You want to let it go as farther into the season as you possibly can.
Yeah, so Petal beats West Jones 45-6. We both picked Petal to win that game. We were both correct on that. Oh, going back to Brandon, Northwest Rankin. I picked the upset Northwest Rankin. They did not pull off the upset. It was 3-0. Brandon, you got that one right. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just go past this one right here real quickly because I don't really want to talk about this very long. Jackson Academy beats Magnolia Heights 52-0. Okay, all right, next game. Next game on the
Okay,
list here.
next game. I told you. Mag Heights is a really good team for their level. For their level, they're really good.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to take anything away from them, but again, that's just the difference between MRA and JA, and maybe even a Park Lane, and then like the other teams below.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say so. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
No,
I
but
was
no.
I,
Here's the thing. I told you what was going to happen.
all right. I knew that this was a wild pick, and if it would have been some kind of game where, like, even if it was 52 to like 20 or 52-35 or something, I'd be like, man, they gave it a good shot, but I was wrong. I was like not even in the same stratosphere of reality.
It was like varsity versus JV.
Yeah. So anyway, and also, I don't know what I was thinking. Right after they lost, I thought that they were going to lose to Magnolia Heights as well. Like I really don't know in what world. I don't know what I was thinking at that point in time. But anyway,
It's okay. It won't happen
next,
again.
yeah, well, probably so. Hartfield Academy and Tupelo. Yeah, we both picked Tupelo to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say other than Hartfield did play with them for a little bit in the first half. It was 7-0, I think, at half, and at some point they just ran out of depth.
Yeah, which I was pretty surprised that Hartfield held up that long. Because I mean, listen, right now, Tupelo's already kind of, I would say they already out talent Hartfield. But the thing is that Hartfield's also pretty banged up, and so like, I was pretty impressed that they were able to hold off in the first half.
They have 30. They have 30 minutes of good defensive film.
Yeah, and so the thing is, like, you just got to move on and focus on what your goals are, and your goals have nothing to do with knocking Tupelo off. You know what I mean? It's
No, it would have been it would have been nice for them to play him last year.
yeah, maybe so. I still think Tupelo would have won last year too, but like, yeah, I know what you're saying for sure. Now
Yeah,
getting to
I would like to see MRA and Tupelo play. Like that would have been a really good one to watch this year.
listen, and MRA game's not on our list. Let's talk about this a little bit. MRA goes to Louisiana, takes on a top 5 Louisiana team in Catholic high school and beats them by 1. And this MRA team, they know how to win football games, man. They're one score away from being undefeated as they lost that first game to Ravenwood. MRA looks really good. And so I mean, listen, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they're just so complete. They have a really good quarterback. They got sound defense. They have great coaching. They're sound across the board. While they have great athletes, they do not have the best athletes, but they have really good ones. And with the really good athletes that they have and the phenomenal coaching that they have, they're just such a sound football team. They look like, like a college football program sometimes in the way that they dress in their uniforms, the way that they prep, the way that they're ready for the game, the way that the headsets look on the coaches. I mean, just the whole aura of it. They're really impressive.
Yeah, most definitely. So MRA wins that game 27-26. And now we got a pass. So it's Pass Christian, right? Because I heard you saying it like that. Pass Christian taking on Greene County. Both 4-1 teams heading into the ball game. You picked Pass Christian to win. I picked Greene County. And you were right. Pass Christian wins 28-14 to begin region play right there. So, but listen, they go on the road and handle the game.
Yeah, they have a really good wide receiver that I highlighted a little bit on my TikTok. They got a solid team. I love their coach. Their coach is really good too, and I felt really good about that pick, and they proved me right.
Yeah, they did, and another team that proved you right, Holmes County Central. They just absolutely lay the hammer down on Greenwood. 42-0. Now, okay, here's the thing, Blake. So look, I picked Greenwood to win this game.
You took two teams. Did you take two teams that got blown out by 40 this week?
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. The Jackson, yeah. So I picked Greenwood. They lost 42-0. Explain this to me. So Jackson Academy, Magnolia Heights. I was like, man, I'm ashamed that I picked that in 52-0. That's ridiculous, you know what I mean? But that's on me, you know what I mean? I'll take the blame for that one. This one, Greenwood had, was a little different. I was a little bit more shocked by this. Did you think it was going to be 42-0, or did you just think Holmes County Central was going to win the game?
No, but I thought it would be double digits. I mean, I thought it would be somewhere
Okay.
around 14 or so. No, not 42-0. That was not my pick. No, Holmes County. This is the most put together. They've always have talent. There's no doubt about it. But sometimes something wacky happens, or they feel like a bad ref call, whatever it is. It feels like this is a mission. This is a mission that they're on this year, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling better about them every single day. And again, they continue to win the games they're supposed to win, and they continue to win the games that they're supposed to win, and the way that they win them is the impressive part.
Do you think, obviously West Point is the top dog, and so at this point in time, it's whoever can challenge them. Do you think Holmes County Central could challenge West Point?
At the moment, no. However, ask me in a few weeks.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. I mean, listen, that's all. It's only going to matter like in I guess a month, really, when those playoffs actually come. Wait, is Holmes County Central in the same region as West Point? I'm trying to.
They redid the regions this year, and sometimes I'm just like a little off on it. You would have, yeah. Do you want to try to pull that up real quick?
Yeah, let me check that real quick because that's relevant to the discussion.
I think it would be better now. Now, I don't know until you say it right now, but I think it would be better for Holmes County to be in the region and to get one look at them prior to the playoffs if they were to meet again. Because I think with West Point and the way that they run the ball, and I know they've played a lot here recently. I just think the more you get to play a team like that, the better you're going to become with them because of their stylistic and gap integrity on defense and making sure your linebackers hit the right spots. So I think it would be good.
They are not in the same region. They are not.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, then they'll have to meet. They'll have to meet. Maybe meet them somewhere.
Yeah, and maybe it could even possibly be the North State championship game. I mean, that could totally be one of those. So we'll have to see what happens there with Holmes County Central, and we'll see that later on. So that wraps up our 10 games for the week. And Blake, I'm just falling further and further behind, man. Listen, you had a real good week. You went 7-3 on your picks.
On TikTok, I went 5-5, so it was finally I was better on YouTube.
Yeah, listen,
I do a couple different games on TikTok.
You do different.
Some of the same.
Yeah.
Some are different. Some are the same. It just depends, right? Like you pick different games and I pick, and I like it that way. I like picking several different games.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. So the games that you got wrong was
West Harrison, D'Iberville, Ocean Springs.
And then Ocean Springs, and then the Madison Central Oxford. And so, Yeah, and so I went 3-7. You went 7
It's
and 3. I
all.
went 3-7. It may be over. That's crazy. You're 39 and 21 now, and I'm 28 and 32. I'm below water. Like
No,
I
no, you're just trying to get 500 back. You're trying to get back to 500.
Okay, listen. All right. So moving on from that topic of discussion, which I'm very glad to be done with. Let's spotlight some undefeated teams in Mississippi because now we're about to head into week 7. And so this is a good time because now if you're still undefeated at this point, that's impressive. And you should be called out
Okay,
no matter what level you are.
I got something. I got something for you.
All
I'm
right.
gonna cut you off for a second. Do you have a list of all the undefeated teams?
I do. I have a list of all of them.
Okay, how many are there?
18.
Okay, you want to play a little game right here for the podcast?
Yeah. Let's play a game.
How many of them can Blake guess? And I get three
Oh,
strikes.
oh, oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
And I
Yeah,
get
let's do
and I
that.
get three and I get three strikes.
You get 3 strikes. Okay, yeah, let's do this.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready.
Okay, Macomb.
Yep.
All right, you marking them?
Yeah, I'm marking them. Yep.
Okay, Senatobia,
Yes.
Clark Dale, not with the S.
That's right. Yep.
Union.
Yep.
Okay, Wesson,
Yes.
Lloyd Star,
Yep.
West Point.
Yep.
Okay, here's where it starts to get a little difficult. Hernando?
I do not have Hernando on the list, but I
Okay.
always have to. I don't have Hernando, but let me make
No,
sure
no, no,
we.
no. I mean, I might be completely wrong. No worries about that.
No, I
Oh
just have
boy.
to.
Okay, here we go. Here we
I
go.
just
Okay,
listen.
so that's what.
I gotta check before I give you strikes, man.
Okay, well, I still got to think of them. How many do I have so far?
No, yeah, Hernandez not undefeated. They're 5-1. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 11 left, and you got 1 strike.
Okay, wait. This was way harder than I thought it was gonna be. Oh man. Oh, Kosciuszko,
Yes.
Columbia,
Yep.
Ridgeland.
Yep.
Okay, I got 8 left, and I've got 10.
Yep.
Is Bruce there?
I do not have Bruce.
Oh, they lost. Okay, because they were undefeated going into the week. Okay, I got 2 strikes. Now I gotta start thinking. Like, there's definitely some 1A schools. Oh, Northside.
Yep. Yep. North side.
Oh, from the Delta.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Oh man, this
Yeah.
this gets
And
this
Bruce
gets.
did lose. So
Oh, okay. Sadly, okay. So I got how many? I got 11 of the 18.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, you got 11 of 18. You got 2 strikes.
Okay. I'm trying to go through like each level and trying to think. Well, oh, Terry.
Terry. Yeah. I didn't think you'd get that one.
Officially,
Officially.
unofficially, Terry.
That's right. That's
Officially.
right.
Okay. Sorry, I was forgetting about your school. That's pretty funny.
I could see why.
Yeah, right. Because I was thinking of my game. Well, we saw the game and the score. Okay, in 5A, there's got to be somebody other than West Point. Is that correct?
That is correct. You're missing one
Have to-
from 5A.
South Jones.
Yep.
Okay, is that it for 5A?
Yeah, that's it for 5A.
Okay, 4A. Did I get them all?
No. You got
Ooh,
another 4A team out there.
Oh, is it one of the Pontotocs?
Yes.
North.
Yep.
Okay, North Pontotoc. Wow, I'm pulling out the bag right now. By the way,
I gotta say,
I'm
man,
on-
that This is impressive. This is impressive.
Okay. All right. 4A, are we done?
No. And you got 3
Oh,
left overall.
wait. Say that again.
You got 3 left overall, and you do have another 4A.
Okay, and then what's the classes of the other ones?
Okay, I believe one is 2A, and then there's a 7A, man.
There's a 7A.
There's a 7A out there, and then there's the 4A.
Oh, is it D'Iberville?
Oh yeah, D'Iberville.
Okay, that's funny. I
Got
should
2
have had
left.
that one. I should have 2 left,
Yeah,
and I got 1 strike.
you got 2 strikes, man. Because you.
That's what I'm saying.
uh,
I got 1 strike left.
Oh, 1 strike left. 1 strike left. Yeah.
So it's what are the 2 classes? A 2A and a.
And a 4A. Well, let me make sure this is indeed 2A. But yes, it's definitely a 4A.
Definitely a 4A.
No, it's
Oh,
1A.
man.
It's a 4A and a 1A.
All right, I'm gonna take a guess on the 1A.
All
There's
right.
2 options in my mind, and I just don't know which one it is. And I might be wrong with both of them, but we're gonna give it a shot. Is it Simmons?
Yes, Simmons. How about that?
Okay, and now I got 1 more, and it's a 4A.
It's a 4A.
I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this one. Yeah, I don't know. What is it?
All right, just think very, very, well, I don't know. Very close to home. Just think very close to home. Lanier.
That's awful by me. That's the one I missed. That's the one I missed. Is Lanier. Congrats. I mean, they got a really good running back. I
Yeah.
can't believe that's pretty good though. I mean, I probably got like 3
Man.
of those with help. I missed 1, but I got 14.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Listen, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm pretty impressed with that. Oh no,
Hey,
no,
hey,
no,
a little
no,
memory,
no,
a
my
little
bad.
memory.
My bad. You missed 1. There's 1 left. There's 1 left. I just oversaw it. I just overlooked
is
it.
it?
There is 1 left. And I'll just give you, well, you're going to get it if I give you this hint. But anyway.
Oh, just give it to me. It's all good.
All right. Hey, private school. It's a private school.
Oh, Park Lane.
Yeah, Parkland. Yeah.
Is Park Lane the only undefeated private school left?
They're the only undefeated
Yeah.
private school. Yeah.
That's good. That's good for the private schools.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, listen, they're beating each other. Well, except for MRA. I mean, MRA got beat by a team in Tennessee. But like,
But the point being is that everyone's suffered a loss. Everyone
Yeah.
has felt that agony of defeat, and it's made them a better team.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, Park Lane Academy still undefeated at 6-0. So congratulations to all those teams that remain undefeated and going into week 7. That's very impressive. And it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter what level you're playing at. Like once you get to week 7, it's hard to maintain an undefeated record. So definitely, congratulations to all of them. But Blake, listen, listen, that's pretty impressive. Blake knows Mississippi high school football. You gotta give that to Blake.
Or I got a better memory than I thought.
All right, folks, look, we appreciate you joining us for the Magnolia Shine podcast. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, turn the notifications on so you don't miss any of our episodes. And if you want more stuff like that, just tune in. And on Thursday, we'll be talking about Week 7. We'll be previewing Week 7. But just keep up with whenever we post, because you never know. It's the Magnolia Shine podcast. Blake Levine alongside myself, Trellis Williams. We out.